I'm 50 years young, and here are some of the things that I would love to tell my 20, 30, or even 40-year-old. Let's go. First thing, you can do anything you put your mind to. Don't say, this is who I am, this is how I am, and there's nothing I can do about it. Wrong. Get out of your own way, get out of your comfort zone. Don't limit yourself. Please don't wait till you're in your mid-age to change. I was always petrified of change, petrified of the unknown. I don't know, maybe because I grew in fear, anxiety, instability, and I carry around trauma and I haven't necessarily resolved it yet. Get out of your own way. That's how you're going to grow. Invest in yourself early on in your life. Don't waste time. Invest early on so that you can be better later in your life. Set a goal and go for it. Work as hard as possible. This is your time. You're still young, beautiful, healthy. Your mind is fresh. You can do it. Now is the time to work hard, focus, and give it all you got. So please use your time wisely. Sadly, it took me years to realize this, and now it's much harder to focus and to use my time because I don't have a lot of it. Stand up for yourself. Don't ever feel bad for who or what you are, and don't apologize for that. If it doesn't go against the Lord's will, defend it. Stand your ground. Never feel pressure to be someone that you're not, just to please or to fit in. And don't neglect your needs for others. Here's a big one. You can't change selfish. I know everyone says that you can't change anyone. And that's true to a certain extent, but sometimes you could influence someone to change, or you could make someone want to change. But again, it's only if they want to change. Listen, I Googled selfish, actually did. And Google says that a selfish person can change as long as they want to. They have to make an effort themselves to change. Let me tell you, selfish people generally don't change, because in order for you to want to change as a selfish person, you have to self-examine. And generally, they don't do that. They think they're okay, or they don't even care. As long as they get what they want, they don't bother. So you can't change someone who is selfish unless they want, or unless life somehow forces them to change. They learn that if they don't change their ways, they're going to lose everyone around them. But if there are people around them who enables them, therefore who allows them to be selfish and lets them, or let them get away with it, why change? They won't feel the need, so they won't change. You can't change selfish. Run far away. Run the opposite way. I'm talking more about this point because I think it's a big one. It's a big one that we all experience in life, and it's really detrimental. Selfish people cannot or will not put themselves in your shoes. Sometimes they might say they understand. Selfish people basically are not empathetic. Even if they try to put themselves in your shoes, they might understand for a moment in time, but then the next day or an hour later or a minute later, it's all gone. All right. They can't put themselves in your shoes, even if they wanted to. And even if they did, they won't care, because their needs come first. When your needs come first, forget it. You can never put anyone's needs or even feelings ahead of yours. So a selfish person will not cater to your needs unless your needs happen to benefit them somehow. I actually beg you, my 20-year-old, my 30-year-old, my 40-year-old, never give a selfish person a chance to get too close. And this brings me to my next point. Be selfish. I know it's contradictory, right? I just said stay away from selfish people, yet I'm telling you, me, my younger self, to be selfish. Let me explain. Don't let others take advantage of you. Don't let them mistreat or disrespect you. You deserve better. Act like it. You deserve the best. So don't settle for any less. Believe me, you'll thank me later because I would have spared you so much pain and disappointment and potentially anger. You are precious and honored in the eyes of the Lord. So please treat yourself accordingly. Now wait, the Bible does say not to be selfish, to be loving, generous, helpful, forgiving. And I'm not contradicting that. All I'm saying is protect yourself. Just the fact that you forgive, that we should forgive, doesn't mean that we should allow the same person to hurt us over and over again. Treat yourself with love and respect and appreciation, and don't allow anyone else to treat you in any other way, because that's what you deserve. That's what we all deserve. So if someone hurts you, forgive them, move on, but don't ever let them hurt you again. Be smart. Which brings me to my next point. Don't be naive. Don't be naive, and do not take anyone for his or her own word. People have to prove themselves to you, just like you have to prove yourself to others. This is life. It's about proving yourself at some points at least. So don't take someone just for their words. Take them for their actions. Hold them accountable. Don't listen to what they say. Watch what they do. If it doesn't agree with what they say, bye bye. They are liars. They are deceivers. They are no good for you. You don't need them, nor do you want them. Please, please. The Bible says you'll know them by their fruits. This was referring to prophets, but it does also apply to everyone in our daily life. The tongue could lie, actions cannot, not for long. Someone might pretend for a very short period of time, but when someone is pretending, they cannot keep it up for long. That's why actions speak louder than words. Now, a controversial one, and I might annoy or anger some of you by saying this, but please, to my younger self, don't listen to your heart. Don't make decisions based on your heart. Our hearts can deceive us. Our feelings change. Feelings are not consistent, they're not stable. Our brain is way more stable. Your logic, your reasoning are generally way more consistent and more trustworthy than your feelings. So always try to go by facts and common sense. These don't change. Facts don't change. Common sense doesn't change. Now listen carefully to this one. I always used to say, treat others the same way you want them to treat you. However, I've recently changed my saying to treat others the way they treat you. Because over the years, I always treated others nicely, generously. I was completely honest, totally myself, transparent, no games, and all that wonderful stuff. But I realized that just because you treat others good, that doesn't mean that they're going to treat you good. Now, I don't treat others good just because I want them to treat me good, but this is normal. Life is give and take. So when you treat someone good, you expect them to treat you good. So just the fact that you're generous with someone, or you're helpful, or you're forgiving, that doesn't mean that that person is going to be the same with you. That doesn't mean that that person is going to be loyal to you just like you're loyal to them. And I'm talking about any kind of relationship, whether it's a love relationship, family, or even at work. So I now treat others the way they treat me. They're helpful, I help back. They're generous, I'm generous. They're good listeners, I'm a good listener. They're there for me, I'm there for them, or I try. Okay, now for those that only want to take, I cut them out of my life. No choice. It's just draining. It drains the life out of you, and it leaves you depressed, angry, and resentful. Treat others the way they deserve. Another point, which might be a little controversial, or you might not agree with me, but my 20-year-old, my 25, let's say, or 27-year-old would thank me for it. Have kids when you're younger. Don't have kids at 40. This goes specifically for me because in my case, I was diagnosed with cancer at 37, and I had to do 2 surgeries in less than a year. And I just so happened to be pregnant when they did my second surgery. So, you know, it was a lot. It was a very rough pregnancy. It was a rough delivery. I had to have an emergency C-section, so it was complicated. Anyway, and then even my first year of giving, after I gave birth, the first year was hell because my body was not recovered. I was very tired. I was getting vertigo. I had to do radiation therapy too at some point. So might not be the typical. I know it's always better to wait a little when you're a little older. I'm not saying go have children at 18 or even 20, but like anywhere between 27 and 35 it would be good because you're still younger, your body is stronger, and your brain is still fresher. You're not as tired of life, and you're not as tired physically. Hopefully, you're healthier. So that's where this is coming from. Now, this is for myself when I was in my 30s and even 40s. Don't let the past dictate your present or your future. Say that again. Don't let your past dictate your present or your future. Stop victimizing yourself. And I used to hate it when I used to hear someone say, don't play the victim, because to me, I wasn't playing. I wasn't playing anything, right? I was just being who I felt I was at the time. Move on. Yes, the past might shape us, but it does not have to dictate us, dictate who we are today. Move on. Get out of your shell. Learn new things. Expose yourself. Grow. You see, you can be positive even if you've spent your adulthood being negative. This is what I'm working on right now. Mindset shift. It's not easy, and I gotta remind myself daily, daily nonstop, that I'm in a positive mindset now. I have to be in order to be healthier and happier and more productive. Please know that you are capable of so much more than what you think, even if you don't think so, even if you don't believe so. You just have to get out of your own head, get out of your own way, and try new things. Try to explore yourself to the fullest potential. Allow yourself. Don't put yourself in a box. All right, get out of that box. Get out. It's like everyone says, life is a teacher, so allow it to teach you. You know, mindset is actually a monster. And I say that in a positive and negative way, because if you allow your negative mindset to take over your mind, it will take over your life. It will reflect in your actions. It will reflect in your feelings. It will reflect in every aspect of your life if you allow yourself to be positive. And I know it's like I was saying, it's a daily effort, minute by minute, even sometimes. But if you allow yourself to be positive and live by that and push away negativity and try to make the best of every situation, you'll start to feel the difference. And it's going to reflect not just in your feelings, but in your life as well, in your attitude, in who you are, of course. Finally, I want to say in my mid 40s, I was so sick and tired of being sick and tired, physically and mentally and emotionally, until one day I said, that's enough. I'm going to try. I'm going to invest in myself and try something new. And I'm not looking back. I'm so happy I did. And it's still the beginning. I'm still at the beginning of my journey, because I started working and improving myself in my late 40s, fortunately. It gave me power. It gave me confidence. It's hard to describe. It's one of those things that you only experience once you try. I know we can't go back in time. I wish we could. I wish I could. But we can work with what we have today. Don't let one more day pass without you being who you want to be. Just choose wisely and use your time wisely. If you're still here, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you. If you can relate, if you know what I'm talking about, please subscribe, follow my journey. Let's grow and learn together, and let's create a beautiful community of supportive individuals.